Hey guys, MoneyMan300 and another tune and drive here. This time I have the um, C-Class 190E, and this tune is for the oval. Oh, I'm gonna bump the wall. Oh, I didn't. And if you've looked at the times, you know, the rivals times on this, the Nissan GTR is just dominant on this thing. Like 95 of the top 100 literally are GTRs. So I thought I would build um, something else, which is not like I went way out on a limb because the other five that aren't GTRs are 190Es, but it seemed like a little bit more of a challenge to try to run one of these up in there. And so that's what we got here. So we'll see if we can't. This guy's. I picked a guy that's in 200 just to give me a good gauge. And obviously, as you can see there, I did not get him on my first attempt, which was actually the second lap. Can't get him. You can never obviously get him on that first lap. Here we go, good turn there. Might be able to power past him a little bit here, maybe. Decent turn there. Wanted to get down a little more on that, but it'll work. It's just faster than I am. You'll see him catch me here. Especially on the, see, look at that. There's just nothing you can do against that car. They actually take it. It's normally an A-class car, and the way they set it up is they do an engine swap, which takes it from an A-class back down to a C-Class car, which, I don't know, I almost feel like that's a little bit of a glitch. It seems like that you shouldn't be able to take it down two classes because it still handles like it's an A-Class car. It's super fast. I mean, I've driven it, and it's just crazy good. I need to get like way out in front of this guy. Make really good turns all the way around. We got a little better lead this time. Let's see if we can't hold it off. He's going to catch me a lot in this one, and then these last two turns you saw last time he kind of pulled away from me, so we got to make sure we're making every bit out of this thing. See if I can hold this. Just trust it through here. Don't hit the wall. And I hit the wall. See if I can hold this one too. Get through there. Still got him. So I don't think I'm gonna go try to get that clean one. I think I wouldn't hit that wall if I didn't get the wrong flick of the sticks there. So we got through there with a 1:00:33. Shows me it's the 6:29, but it was an 0:33, which it's a pretty good time. I actually have one just slightly better than that, or maybe that was better than that, but. We'll finish this race out and then we'll go take a look at the parts on it. I think a couple more laps I easily can break in a minute and getting into those 59s, which is getting closer to the top 100. Like I said, I already did run this a little bit and had one. It was about the 8th or 9th fastest 190E on this track, so it's a pretty good tune. I think it's got a chance to get in the top 100, although it's super hard against all those GTRs. So yeah, we'll go. We'll move on from here, and we'll go check out those parts. Okay, so here we are in the garage. Let's start over here. I always like to start to take a look at. You always want to do your engine conversion, aspiration, those types of things first because they affect the type of engine parts that you can put on there. So let's take a look here. And we have the second engine conversion in the street powertrain on that, and don't have any drivetrain change and no aspiration on this. So that's what we got going on in the conversion area. Let's go over here to the engine parts, and we'll go through theirs. We have the race intake. We have the stock intake manifold. We have the sport fuel system. Obviously, we're going to trying to get every bit of horsepower out of this, being an oval tuning for the oval. So stock ignition, stock exhaust, stock cams and valves, stock valves, stock may not have anything else on here. Stock engine blocks, stock pistons. Can't imagine I got the oil and cooling on there, and I don't, because that adds weight along with the horsepower. Not something you typically want to do. And then the stock flywheel. One thing we can look at here is, let's take a look at, I didn't show the numbers real quick, but we have speed is 6.6, the handling is 4.9, acceleration 7.7, launch 8.0, and braking 5.5. And we have 359 horsepower, 282 foot-pounds of torque, weighing in at 3,163 pounds, weight distribution of 53% towards the front, and a 3.2 liter displacement value. And you can see some of the other stats here, your 0 to 60, 0 to 100, lateral G's, all that good stuff. I don't look at these much. I don't know that they matter that much. It's just the way that the car feels and drives. So that's our engine parts. Let's move on to platform and handling. Now, brakes. Almost always you're going to put adjustable brakes unless you're tuning for the oval, because you don't need brakes. So we have stock brakes. No need to waste any PI on brakes for this track. I do have, you can go back and forth, I do have the race springs on here. It's possible I could take these out and get another 2 PI to try to use for horsepower, but that 2 PI doesn't really mean much, and actually wanted to tune it a little bit to the ability to tune those springs actually outweighed that. So we have the roll bars on both front and back, and I actually do have the chassis reinforcement full race, because it gives you 2 PI that you can work with. And then we have no weight reduction at all. We're just trying to carry momentum through there and want to get all the horsepower that we can, so we don't do any weight reduction. In the drivetrain, we're going to definitely have stock clutch, because you're not doing any shifting. Stock transmission, same deal. We're really not shifting, and I did not really need to tune. The only reason you'd move up if you're trying to maybe get a little bit more on that top end, and you could tune it in there, it might be worth it, but it's a fair amount of PI. It's a 9 PI difference, so I didn't feel like that was worth it. Stock driveline, and as always, we put that race differential on there, which really doesn't make a whole lot of difference. Actually, I don't want to say that, because when I get into the tune, you'll see that actually the deceleration differential makes a big deal on an oval tune, so you definitely want that on there. We get into our wheels and tires, and we are running stock compound. Don't want to spend any PI there. Stock width in the front, and I think we might, I can't remember, did I upgrade the width in the back? Nope, stock width in the back too, so everything's stock on those tires. And I believe we have, if I go over here, the heaviest rims I could find just to get that extra PI. So we have these LTC 704s on there. And what did we do here? It looks like we left 17-inch on the front and moved up to 18-inch on the back, so went up 1 in the back there. And then aero, we're going to have adjustable Forza aero in the front, and if we look in the back, we will have the adjustable Forza aero, which is actually the stock option on this on the back. You probably make this faster by doing this, but I actually had to play around with downforce to get it actually to be able to get it consistently around this track anyway, so I wanted the adjustable on both the front and the back. Okay, and we talked about the engine conversion, so let's move on to the actual tune here. 29.5, 29, pretty standard, about a half pound less in the rear because of the rear wheel drive there on the tire pressure. There's no adjustments we can make since we're running stock transmission, so that's all stock there. We have a lot of camber in this, and this really was to hold those slight turns, and the extra camber in there really helped me to be able to turn in and hold those turns on there, keep it on the rails as I go around. And because it was that high, so running that much negative camber, had to add a lot of a caster angle to keep it in balance so it wasn't unstable. So I had a 6.5 in that caster angle, and I did not have any toe in either direction. Did not need it. The roll bars, a little bit stiff at 25.42, and I think I just moved that 25.42. I think I just moved both these, but anyway. I think that's what it was at when we came in here. But anyway, 25.42 and 23.81, just slightly less in the rear. The springs, just about in the middle, but this is down a little bit from where the defaults were. 790, almost identical between the front and the back. Didn't have to make a ton of adjustments here. We are just driving in a circle, so don't have to get all crazy there. Just need to be able to keep everything in check and drop that ride height all the way down. I'm not worried about bottoming out and want to be as low as possible for those aerodynamics. Our dampening, 9.1 and 8.8. That might be default out of the box in the rebound area. The bump I always drop down little, maybe just a touch higher than normal, and 3.0 and 2.7 there. And then, like I said, I am using some aero. Not quite in the middle, just down a little bit at 143 and 258. I played around with this in some different areas. I took it all the way out, and you could do that. Car's definitely faster, but I had a really hard time getting into the turns, especially that first turn, and holding that without a little bit of aero in there, so I did. Probably you could take the aero out of this and work on that miracle lap and get yourself a top 75, top 100 type time. But I felt like this was easy, that I could drive lap over lap in that top 200 area. And you saw it was 2 laps in, was able to beat the 200 place guy. So that's why I do have some aero in there. No, there's no brake adjustments. We didn't put the brakes on there. And differential, I talked about. I don't have anything for acceleration differential in here. It really doesn't matter. You're not coming in and out of turns. You're running one gear all the way around the track, so you're not worried about that. But that deceleration differential is important. What that does is, as I let off the gas, I'm able to dive into a turn better, because it gives me a little bit of, I want to say engine brake. It's not really engine brake. It's differential deceleration brake without actually hitting the brakes. So you're able to actually let off the gas and have it kind of dive down into, especially turn 1 and turn 3, which are, to me, the 2 crucial turns on the track. And I mean, you're able to just let out the gas and allow it to take a little speed off to dive right into it. So I think it's really important that you have a really high deceleration differential, and that's probably the #1 tip I can give on tuning for the oval, is to use that deceleration differential to your advantage. So yeah, that's everything I've got here. I do have it shared out there, gamertag Moneyman 300 if you want to go check it out. Also, I'll link down in there, Rock King 3, he's going to have, if he doesn't already, the Nissan GTR out there, which obviously is a very dominant car, but he's got a very good setup for one that you're going to want to check out if you want to drop yourself in top 50 type time. He's got a car that can do that for you, so I'll link that down in the bottom also. Otherwise, I think that'll wrap it up for this one, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.